Nation, happy holidays. If this is before Christmas, which is tomorrow, so no. Hope you had a happy holidays. It's going to be in the past. We're onward and looking forward to 2024. What were my best toys? Let's find out. Okay, my top 10 list. Look, I got a lighter. Let's redo this. It's fine. So, for 2023, I dove headfirst in to being a toy collector again. I've dabbled. We've done Funkos. We've done comics. We've done a lot of stuff, but I kind of went in on... vintage toys. So right now what I am going to do is so I dove right into vintage toys, but I've also dabbled in some of the modern stuff because there is so much cool stuff out right now. Being a collector right now is hard. It's very expensive. There is so much stuff that's coming out that is just so cool. I mean, gosh, it's great. It's a good time to be a collector for anything. Things are accessible. Things are highs and lows. Some of my stuff, my top 10, there's not anything I have here that's a grail piece by any stretch of the imagination. So if you're looking for the grails to where I went and blew, 10 grand on 10 toys, $1,000 each, this is not the channel. This isn't the video. These are just my favorite toys I personally purchased this year, and I'm going to give you a little explanation why. Okay, here we go. Let's start this top 10 list right now. Okay, number 10 for me comes in with real Ghostbusters, except this is Winston Zmore. Now, if you look up here at the price sticker, where's the price sticker? It's right here. $3.99 at Ollie's. This is not the vintage one. This is the reissue one. Why is this on my top 10? A $4 figure. Because as a kid watching the Ghostbusters, played with these. I never really watched the real Ghostbusters cartoon all that much, but I did play with these in the realm of the Ghostbuster world. I never could get Winston. I had all the major players. I had Pete, I had Ray, I had Egon. I had the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I had Slimer. I had all kind. I think I even had Ecto-1. I don't think I had the Firehouse, but he was one of them that I was missing. And to be able to walk into a regular store, they're countrywide, they're US-wide, to be able to pick up a figure from my childhood for $3.99 and to fulfill that youthful dream, he comes onto my list. Number 10, Winston Zmore. Coming in at number 9 is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and weirdly enough, I am not collecting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I did a video or a short this year on a yard sale that my parents stumbled onto to where it had all these action figures zip-tied, literally zip-tied to, I think it was like a chicken fence or something, a hen fence to keep chickens in the thing. And it was pretty cool. It's the reason why this is one of my favorite toys of the year is because I never knew this dude existed. And I loved this character as a kid. So Mondo Gecko was one of my favorite turtles as a kid. Had skateboard and everything else. I had no idea there was like hippie Mondo Gecko, like Woodstock. He's not complete. He's got a tail that has a microphone that I think is just cool as all get out. I think he came with a guitar. I'll show the accessories here. It's apparently a harder to find figure in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle world. It's not top tier, but it's in the mid tiers of hard to get. And to find it at a yard sale is pretty cool. So number 9 on my list, Woodstock, hippie Mondo Gecko. Number 8 on my list. Number 8 for me is a favorite callback to the childhood. So what I've been doing on this channel, if you've never watched anything else, is I've been kind of collecting in bulk. And what I mean by that is I'm going, instead of just collecting everything I want, I'm pausing certain things and I'm going right at everything that I want. I'm not trying to be a completist so much, but I am trying to get everything that I want from a line, okay? And one of the things I started off this year doing was a $100 challenge. I would take $100 to a toy store near me. It was cool to be able to travel to areas, get to know the people, get to meet people, and I would have a $100 challenge. And this is the first toy I bought from the $100 challenge at a shop in Madison. And it's nothing fancy about it, but it is the Uncanny XMen Strong Guy This is what, a 1994-5 figure? Who knows? I paid like $15 for this thing. Way overpriced for probably what Strong Guy is. But to walk into a toy store, see something that I had and I loved playing with as a child, it's on the card. We're going to be collecting these hopefully in 2024. We'll see how the world goes. But this is my 8th figure. Coming in at number 7. There's several wrestlers on this list, and this is going to be the first one. I loved LJNs as a kid, and my number 7 is the Barbarian. I got this Barbarian off of Matt Cardona from the Major Figure Podcast, and this was off of his Whatnot channel, and I got a great deal on it. I believe it's made out of resin. It's not, I mean, I'm squeezing pretty good on those legs. They're not going anywhere. It doesn't have the bendy figures. I don't have one handy of the LJNs or anything, but he fits in nicely. I think it's cool to purchase something from somebody who has lit, between him and Brian Meyer from the Major Figure Podcast, I mean, they have lit a fire under the wrestling world collecting in general. I mean, people have blogs and stuff, and they kind of go to their format and everything else. But this is the Barbarian. This is an LJN/resin kind of custom figure. I thought it was cool. He's coming in at my next number 7. Coming in at number 6. Got a little peek right there. Coming in at number 6. This is a figure for me that I never knew existed. And I was at an awesome age when this franchise came out. Star Wars is pretty drawn down, and it's all over the place, and there are things to have. Not that there ever has been, but I went through the 3. I'm not old enough to have remembered seeing them in the theaters, but I do have recollections and knowing that I went to the theater and watched them. I know I played with the original Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, had all the original Star Wars figures and whatnot, and I was a younger kid in the neighborhood, so I got a lot of the older kids' stuff to play with them. Fast forward to 1999, I'm a senior in high school, and they tell me that there's a Star Wars flick coming out. Yeah, how cool is that? One of the first images you see on screen is some spaceships, and there's some stuff, and one of the first characters you see is this. And I'm going to be real honest. This is TC-14 Protocol Droid. Looks a lot like C-3PO. Silver, it served the Jedi a beverage, I believe. And not knowing this existed, going through that. And I was one of the people when they were going to be a collectible. I went into Walmart, saved up lunch money, work money, and everything. And I mean, I took my arm and went, and I filled my cart with these at $4.99 or $3.99 a piece or whatever, and kept them. And then years later, when they did not become anything, I sold them for $1 a piece. I was going and doing the $100 challenge, and I saw a rack of them, knew I had to have them. Right now, as we're recording this, I have the entire figure collection. We're going to do a review and have kind of a spotlight on those and talk about them. I can't wait to talk about those more in detail. So that is number 5 for me. 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I lied. That's 6. 9, 8, 7, 6. It's 6. Okay, coming in at number 5 is, again, not a new toy of 2023. It's a newer toy, though, and it's from one of my favorite franchises of all time. I love when rumor mills happen and this stuff goes. And when the rumor mills hit of these figures actually popping out, I balked at them because I knew we weren't going to get a whole line of them. And then lo and behold, we didn't. Then they ended up going out to Ollie's and Big Bad Toy Store, and all of these places had them for cheap, which stinks because that means there's not going to be any more of them. But I got them for cheap. And I waited long enough to get a Bucky O'Hare figure. Now, this is from Boss Fight. This is Jenny. I have not taken her out of the package yet, but I do have a loose one that I have played with because I bought a lot of them that were loose as well as carded. Again, I'm going to collect all of these. I am one figure away from having this whole boss fight line done, and I can't wait to get into them and to open them up and just have one big review of all of them. But my fifth figure for me, just for nostalgia reasons again, is Jenny from Bucky O'Hare. Fourth figure on the list comes from an X-Men toy line. So they had the VHS Marvel Legends that came out. You want to talk about a phenomenal toy series. You want to talk about nostalgia, where I had Strong Guy. Those were popular because of that cartoon. The one figure I never had as a kid in the Uncanny X-Men toy line was Morph. I was going to spend some money on Morph, but he didn't have it. So with my lack of an action figure from the Toy Biz line and these new figures coming out, hey, I like Marvel Legends, but I never really got in on the ground floor of them. Dove in on the VHS characters. I love them. And this is one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character that I have from the VHS toy line so far, and it's Morph. Morph comes with several heads, as you can see here. He's got the cool bomber jacket. Awesome, awesome, awesome toy nostalgia, as well as awesome, awesome toy. It's a Marvel Legend. You can't really beat Marvel Legends. They really are good. It's got that kind of graphic shading to show that 90s cell thing going with it. But my childhood just beams with how it is. So coming in at this one, Morph. All right, coming in at number 3, we're going to go to another wrestling figure. Now, we're going to rewind it back to where we got Mondo Gecko. On that chicken wire, there was a bunch of wrestlers that were also on there. This one for me is a hard to get Hasbro. I've actually never seen it in person. I used to have the other paint variant of this, but we're talking about Razor Ramone in the purple outfit. I don't have his chain. I do not care. I finally have a Razor Ramone purple. It's a little beat up on the back. Found it at a yard sale with a bunch of other stuff. I just think that's cool. Action still works. Last time I did this with one of them, I bought it, went flying across the screen. So Razor Ramone growing up was one of my favorite wrestlers, and I always had him in the red trunks and the black. And he was a champion of mine all the time. And then when this kind of look came out, I never could find him in the stores and never really chased him down until, again, a wrestling podcast with Brian Meyer and Matt Cardona comes in and they show the history of these, and I see him and all that. And then there he is. Boom. And so to get him at a yard sale is a pretty cool thing. And to have him in my top 3 is an absolute awesomeness for me. Coming in at number 2, you are going to laugh at me about number 2, I think. If you have watched the channel here recently, it has been a very cops and crooks heavy thing. It's because that's the process right now, and that is the toy line that I'm trying to get. I'm trying to complete it. One of my favorite toys growing up as a kid, because I loved the Cops and Crooks cartoon. I loved the Cops and Crooks toys. I loved everything about it. Had them all, played with them, and they just never gave me enough to keep going. But these could have rivaled Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, and Transformers for me when I was a kid. But when you get a dude that adds a little nostalgia-ness to the Dick Tracy era, and he has a chest that opens up and machine guns come flailing out of it, come on now. You telling me this isn't going to win some hearts over with that Dick Tracy stuff? This is a Dick Tracy figure. It's flat top. It's one of them. This scale and this size of Dick Tracy would sell, they'd go out of this world. But that's how I feel about him. He's got his case. He's got his cello, his guitar, whatever his case may be. And it's just like in old movie style. You open it up, it's got his Tommy gun, which is also just a trip down the lane for me, and there is nothing cooler than this. I love it. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I have a complete one, because these things are hard as all get out to get. Number 2, Buttons McBoom Boom from Cops and Crooks. All right, coming in for my number 1 toy of 2023. I'm cheating because there's 2 of them, but I kind of have to have 2 of them. Again, wrestling figure. They are from the Major Wrestling Podcast, and They're the figures of the year, and I got the worst of the two. I was hoping to not get chases of these. I did an opening of these. These are the big rubber guys, Axe and Smash of Demolition. These are two of the best figures I have ever laid eyes on. It doesn't hurt the fact that I am an Axe and Smash lover. Love them. They were my favorite tag team, still are to this day. And to have actual good representation of them is awesome. Now, the bad thing about this is I got the chases. Who's ever complained about getting a chase? This guy has. I really wanted the silver paint because that's what they look like in the ring. And I really, really love this Smash. Don't think I haven't tried to steal my mom's makeup and stuff when I was a kid and try to paint that. I sure did. But they're going to top out my list. The major wrestling figure podcast, again, Matt Cardona and Brian Meyer knocking it out of the park with their toy company, doing a great job. So Axe and Smash of Demolition, they are my #1 toy purchases of 2023. If you all have done some stuff, leave a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite purchase was. Doesn't have to be new, doesn't have to be old, obviously. Look at this list. I look forward to 2024. I hope that more toys fall in my lap. I hope that I find some stuff that I've never had, and in a year's time, I get to do this again with just a different amount. So, until next time, peace out, home skillets. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time. Representation of them is awesome. Now, the bad thing about this is I got the chases. Who's ever complained about getting a chase? This guy has. I really wanted the silver paint because that's what they look like in the ring. And I really, really love this Smash. Don't think I haven't tried to steal my mom's makeup and stuff when I was a kid and try to paint that. I sure did. But they're going to top out my list. The major wrestling figure podcast, again, Matt Cardona and Brian Meyer knocking it out of the park with their toy company, doing a great job. So Axe and Smash of Demolition, they are my #1 toy purchases of 2023. If you all have done some stuff, leave a comment down below. Tell me what your favorite purchase was. Doesn't have to be new, doesn't have to be old, obviously. Look at this list. I look forward to 2024. I hope that more toys fall in my lap. I hope that I find some stuff that I've never had, and in a year's time, I get to do this again with just a different amount. So, until next time, peace out, home skillets. Happy New Year. We'll see you next time.